Alright guys, I'm here today installing the bow bit anchor tie-off on the 1983 Boston Whaler Outrage 18 from Specialty Marine. Got it in, got the front all refinished, ready to go. My boat actually didn't come with one when I got it, did originally. Somebody had really messed up the front, put trolling motors and patched and just really tore up the front. So took a lot of work to get this back down smooth, ready to go. Got my rub rail on. You're going to want to make sure all that's on first, as this piece will come down over in front of it. And it just sits right here in the middle. It's got a nice little curve in the front. So you'll line that up with the front of your boat, making sure it should be nice and snug against the front of this area. So if I can zoom in a little bit so y'all can see that a little better. Yeah. Actually slide the camera over this way. Give you a better angle. There we go. So yeah, goes right here, flush up against the front of your boat. Find that center spot where your point is. Line that up there in the middle. Get it nice and centered up. I don't have existing holes because I had to patch and repair everything. So once I have it here, get it where you want it. Get you a pen or something, pencil. Mark your 4 holes. It does come with the required hardware. So we've got the holes marked. Set that off to the side. We'll drill those holes. I'm using, for the hardware, for the screws that come with it, you can use either a 1/8 inch drill bit or like a 7/64. I like it a little bit on the smaller side just to make sure it's nice and snug. So I'm using a 7/64 drill bit. We're going to drill our 4 holes here. Alright guys, I'm back. I had to cut out there because I was putting these screws in. After I drilled the holes out, I noticed there was something down in here, I guess from a previous owner, some sort of metal, well, those old metal screws or some sort of metal plate. Really had a difficult time. Drilling through it wasn't so bad, but then getting the screws to be able to go into it, it was a really hard metal. Even at one point thought I was going to have to move it over just because I wasn't able to get it, but then I drilled one hole, one over, and still really difficult metal there. Broke a couple screws off trying to get the drill bit size the right size for the screws where it would still grab but not be too difficult. They just got really tight. But I was going to cut all this out, but I just thought I'd encourage you guys, hey, when you're working on old boats, sometimes you run into things that you had no idea were down there. And don't lose hope, don't get frustrated, just keep working at it, keep your head and try to find a solution. So I've got an option. Ended up having to use different kind of screws, a different type of screws because of that metal that was in there. But we're back, we got the holes drilled, I think we're good to go. So let's move on. So what we're gonna do, before we actually mount this, you do want to put some adhesive, or some caulk, not adhesive, on your holes. So when you put the screw down in there, you don't have any water. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive or a caulk over the holes. And that way when we put the screw through there, it will form a nice seal and will keep water out of the boat. Alright. Got that in there. We'll take our screws. I'm going to line, we'll go and put 2 screws in, that way I can make sure I get them lined up in the holes, the correct holes, without smearing this caulk everywhere. There we go. All right. All right, hopefully these screws behave and they'll go in there and we'll have some good grip still. All right, that one was a short one. I'll swap that one out. Okay, this one apparently had the wrong one in there. All right, let's try this one. All right. That was quite a project, a lot more than I was expecting, not because of the hardware or because of the screws that came with it, but because of what ended up being underneath the top of this boat here. That was just really difficult, but just wanted to show y'all that hey, stick with it, be patient, look for different options, and you end up with a really nice option, a really nice addition to your boat or whatever you're working on. So that ended up really happy with the way that turned out. Thought it was not going to turn out well at all because of what was in the boat, but was able to get it, and really happy we got that on centered, and it looks great. Thanks, guys.